should touch the button. Now from here, you're gonna see lines on the side of the elevator here. On the 7th and a half line, you're going to pause the game. Okay, let me show you what that looks like. I'm gonna count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and a half. So midway through to the 8th line, you want to pause the game. And then from here, you're going to save the game, and you're going to load. It is an Orbless split. Okay, and you should end up right here. If you end up back in LPC, then you didn't go far enough. You didn't go high enough. So from here, you're just gonna go inside the hut. You can pause buffer this, whatever you like, as long as you hit the button while paused. So like that. I like to jump on the button, but if you want to do it my way, you can just press R2 and hop on the button and press start just before you touch the button, and it should work. Okay, so if you touch the button and you're paused, you want to save and load again. And as soon as you load out, you want to pause buffer, which is basically pressing R2 and start at the same time. And you know if that works, or you know that works if you if in the top left corner it shows your health, but it doesn't show the number next to your health. That's how you know it works. So you're gonna load Rock Village, and you have to do this kind of quickly. After you pause buffer, you can miss it a few times. It doesn't matter. Yeah, after you pause buffer, you want to roll to the left onto the platform. Now there are orbs on that platform. And if you were to grab an orb, you just load back right here. It'll pause for you since it's a pause buffer. It'll pause you after 2.5 seconds. So let me show you what it looks like if you were to grab an orb. So pause buffer. You grabbed an orb. It pauses for you, no problem. Load it back up again and do the same thing. Pause buffer. You want to miss the orbs, and if you get this far, you're good. Just unpause and keep going. You want to grab Scout Fly, avoid these orbs right here, and you're going to go for this next Scout Fly behind here. Okay, so from here, you kind of want to hug the wall until you get to this second orb, and then you're just going to double jump over that third orb. Kind of like that. Double jump, spin over. And then go straight to Basin, which is the most fun part, so I'm going to save. Actually, it's not very fun at all. Okay. So you're going to get on the Zoomer and basically follow this route. And you want to stop and don't take damage here. Or, I mean, take damage, but you want to be almost completely stopped so the Zoomer doesn't go out of control and grab this box of orbs right here. You're going to grab this Scout Fly, turn back, hop off this, and go immediately into the race because you talked to him earlier before you entered Boggy. Okay. Lamau. Okay, so what I don't recommend for beginners, if you're just doing Orbless, I don't recommend grabbing. Okay, well, I'm gonna miss the record time of 45 seconds, so I'm gonna go back here. I don't recommend you having blue eco for the rest of Basin once you get out, but you'll see in my PB that I have like four blue eco as I get out of the race. And I'm going like super fast, going through purple rings. I don't recommend that for beginners at all. I used to just go through purple rings with no eco at all, and it worked fine for me. Just until you get the hang of all the zoomer movement and what orbs not to get. Um, but you can grab, eco for the race. But as soon as you leave the race, like let go of X and it'll get rid of all the eco. So that's 2 eco. That's 3. You kind of hold X here and square, so you slow down a lot, but you don't lose your blue eco. So just hold X and square. Whenever you want to slow down but you have all the eco, just keep holding X but also hold square. So for beginners, let go of your eco. You can kind of wrap around these orbs, or you can do this if you wanted to. With blue eco, I don't recommend doing this because you kind of mess it up a little bit. Like I used to mess it up a lot. You don't turn as well. But yeah. So you want to grab the scout fly and go for the rings. You want to go on the right of this ring to avoid orbs. You find yourself having to avoid a lot of orbs during this purple ring sequence. Just because... Oh, you want to grab this too. Just because I guess they intended for you to grab a lot of the orbs during this. So it's just a matter of like hooking the rings. They have a big hitbox, by the way. These rings aren't, very like anal about how much your zoomer goes through them. You can barely touch these rings and they'll go through them. It'll count. But this is the hardest part here. The last ring is the hardest. So you kind of want to just barely go up the left side. Okay, so this is the dumb part. This is where I lost many of my runs just to this. So, okay, let me get closer to it. This little thing right here. Okay, this platform is tough to avoid orbs on. I'm actually gonna save the game just in case I mess it up. Okay, so what you want to do here is kind of ride on the right side of this. But you have a lot more space on this platform than you really think. You can fit your whole zoomer on this platform, but you can't go too much to the left or you'll grab an orb. That is the worst case scenario. The next worst, which is almost as bad, is you just completely miss the ring, which happens a lot to me, because you don't get a jump. Now, the key to jumping to get that purple ring is that you jump early. You don't jump late because you won't get the jump 90% of the time. It'll just have you fall off, really. So I'm going to show you how this kind of looks. You kind of do this slow, and you jump early. So those are the two things that you want to look out for. Just kind of ride on the right side of this ledge, and you want to jump early. Okay. Okay, so since I took too long, I paused there, and yeah, I didn't get I didn't get to go through that purple ring. It disappeared at the last second. But yeah, I would have gotten that. So you jump early. Let me go back through purple rings. So this is what happens if you take too long. And don't worry, you have more time than I showed you, because I kind of stopped myself there, and yeah, you have more time than you think. Okay, so let me do it again. So purple rings, actually, yeah, that would have actually made it too. But this is the toughest part of Hub 2 early on. usually basin doesn't run longer than 5 minutes if you had a decent basin. But if early on, it used to take me about like 12, 13 minutes on average to finish Basin because, well, that's kind of just the beginning too. There's still other stuff about Basin that's tough. But yeah, here it comes again. Really trying not to mess this up for you guys. Okay. Okay, so see how I barely clipped the bottom of that? That is always completely okay. I always clip the bottom of that purple ring. It's the best way to do it. So you just want to grab the cell after that. That will take time. It looks really easy, but it's not. Any little thing can mess this up. Okay, so next is plants, which is in every category, so one cycling plants is just always hitting the outsides of the plants really fast. I'm not getting this, but I missed like one plant, I think. Yeah. Oh, and then cringe goes back into the plant. No, LTS is banned for Orbless. Because it ruins the challenge of Orbless if you put an LTS. I mean, if man, that would really suck if we decided to put LTS into Orbless, because it's basically the same thing as any percent. Okay, so from here you kind of I don't know, people like me using this word apparently in the chat, but you want to ride the left side of that, and this is kind of weird too, this trick. You kind of want to go in between. Okay, so on this platform line, you want to go in between the third and the fourth orb. That's where you want to jump in between. And there's a little bit like of an extended terrain over there. So you're gonna see me kind of go through that, and you want to stop as soon as you get on that extended terrain. So hopefully, okay, yeah, no, I was good. I was gonna save it, but it doesn't matter because I just got a cell and it's already saved for me. Okay, so just in between that third and fourth orb, you can land right on this extended part of the terrain. And from here, you want to ride the right side of this platform and just kind of jump. So you're just avoiding the orbs. Right the right side since it's the closest, and jump early because jumping late will cause you to just completely miss and you won't get a jump at all. Okay, so yeah, you want to grab that scout fly. And I have 6 scout flies. And now you can like get on this corner right here, but there's like a little wall right here. It's kind of weird. It's kind of invisible too, but you can kind of just jump over it. Just hit R1 and you should be right over it. So from here, you just want to avoid these orb boxes. You can jump, but it's a little tricky to jump. I just hold X and usually I make it 95% of the time. So yeah. So you just kind of avoid these. So I go to the left of the first one and the right of the last 2. And then from here you just kind of want to ride the right side of this platform. And that is the last cell.